I'm just stoked to go back home, honestly. Hopefully we'll be able to continue this broadcast uninterrupted. The problem is that, of course, there's going to be a lot of drops. Just letting you guys know, there's just a lot of drops in the beginning of the broadcast, in the first hour, in the first 2 hours basically. And I talked to the hotel and they were like, we talked to the ISP, we talked to the internet service provider for you, and there's not really anything we can do. When a lot of people are using the internet, they just clamp on it. So it's cool. It's like I'm in America. That's the wonderful experience. I get to have American internet experience in Croatia. They were like, hey, we want you to feel what it's like when you have American internet here, so you don't feel homesick. And I ended the broadcast last night after like 6 hours. Did you swim in the blue caves or whatever? No, that was yesterday. I didn't actually end up swimming there because there's too many people there. I went to a different cave today. As a Croat studying in Zagreb and being from the coast, I had so much fun getting your American appearance of Croatia. I loved it, and I have a hard time believing no one is clocking you for being Turkish just by nose alone. Is this a very Turkish nose? I didn't realize that was a thing, but I do love that Croatians are like, yes, we know exactly what your genealogy looks like just by looking at some of your heritable traits, especially when, you know, to the normal eye it is indecipherable, but to the Croat does not have a normal eye. It's advanced racism. We know what you are. But yeah, went on the boat again today, conquered my fear of the ocean, or the sea rather, but I guess I'm not too fearful of the sea, so it's not technically conquering a big fear of mine. The sea is like one thing, the ocean is an entirely separate being, as you guys know. Went to a cave, not scared of the sea. I mean, it's just less octopus, less fish are smaller, they're chiller, water is clearer. It's a lot saltier though, which I guess is the reason why there aren't that many sharks and shit, or as massive sharks. They just can't live in the Adriatic. Smaller waves. The seas are connected to the ocean, true, except all landmass is connected to one another, but you will never catch me inside of St. Louis, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Or Ohio. It's kind of like that. Is salty because the fish pee in it? Yeah, that's not the case. I know why it's salty. It's salty because of all the mineral deposits coming in from all of the rivers and whatnot. It's Friday. I'm not gonna do the Mufasa Friday intro because I just don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk cutting out in between me playing Mufasa. Yeah, just, you know, say no all you want, but I just don't want to risk having the stream F during the Mufasa intro. Okay? Yeah, there's a break in tradition. There's no Fridays in Croatia. But yeah, after I got off the boat, I went to the Red Museum. I was very excited. Alexa specifically wanted me to go. As you guys know, a resident Serb, Alexa, who's currently occupying my house. He was also wondering what the Croatian attitude towards Tito is. So Tito is Croatian. So as like the former Yugoslavian Republic's glorious leader, Tito is a bit of a love-hate situation in Croatia, it seems, where like they like him because, like, you know, there was a lot of periods in Yugoslavian development under his watch, but they also are like kind of anti-socialist, anti-communist. In certain parts of the country, he's more beloved. In others, he's more hated. Yeah. Like I asked my captain of the ship that I was on how he felt about him, and he was like kind of woke. He was like, all war is done for money. It's so rich people get richer. So I'm like, maybe this motherfucker knows a thing or two, right? And I was like, and he basically said, I was not a part of the party, so I did not like him. That's what he said, which is cool. I mean, he wasn't like, I hate him, he's socialist piece of shit. He doesn't own a ship. No, he's just a like a captain of the charter whatever company. It doesn't matter. He doesn't like own his own ship. But he basically said, I was not a part of the party, so I did not like him. Anyway, I still, you know, I still enjoyed it. There was a Yugo there, which was sick. There was a Yugo at the museum, which was awesome, which I personally loved. No, not Yugopnik, Yugo, which is the Yugoslavian car that they made. It's like a Lada. I'm an archaeologist who worked on partisan heritage in Croatia and also on a Ustazi camp. I hope you liked Red Museum. No way. I did. I liked it. I loved it, actually. It was so sick because, like, it's basically a slice of life of, like, you know, socialist Yugoslavia. They have these like, there's just like a living room basically filled with all of this stuff. Like, there's a medicine cabinet, and it shows that, like, Yugoslavia had a novel chemical compound invention, like novel chemical compound discovery, azithromycin. erythromycin, the medication you use for gonorrhea, which Pfizer basically sells to the rest of the world, like that was discovered in Yugoslavia. You know, it was pretty cool. I didn't know that. They have that kind of stuff. I learned about how they saw Coca-Cola and were like, we need to immediately make our own shit, our own version. I forget what it's called now. It's in the photos that I posted. Kokta. Yeah, Kokta, which was cool. They had Lenin and Stalin. Here is him when he got arrested with the Giga Chat jawline. Yeah, I posted on Instagram, by the way. Me and the best Croat to ever do it. Me and Tito, side by side, posted up, stanced up. You already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Here's some posters from the era, some agitprop. This one's sick. Here's me with a Yugo. This is the Kokta next to the Pepsi, and this is the medicine cabinet. I worked on agitprop site in Dresnica. We found mechanical letters, partisan used for flyers. That's so sick. I will say this much about the Red Museum. To the archaeologist in the chat, maybe you can confirm this. It was like a push and pull. It was a push and pull. On the one hand, they're like, well, this guy's a Croat. And also there was like a period of massive development, right? And then also a period of massive development, and then a period of like liberalization to a certain degree that originally was kind of good and then not so good. But then there's like an entire segment dedicated to like political repression. And it's like behind a curtain, and you open up the curtain and it's like this dark room, and they're like, they were butchering people. Like, oh my God, the partisans were so ruthless. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, will they say who they are ruthless to? And it doesn't really, you know, they don't really mention it. There's almost no mention of the Ustaza. There's no mention of like Nazi invasion in the entire museum, which is weird because like, as far as I understand, in Croatia, it's not even called like World War II. It's called like the War of Liberation or whatever. Yes, because they didn't talk about this in Yugoslavia. They make it seem as though like in the museum itself, they make it seem as though because we were all brothers. I do love that. This nerd really went on vacation to study history. It was the coolest part of the Croatian trip. Any Game of Thrones stuff while you're there? No, I didn't do any Game of Thrones shit, even though technically everything is Game of Thrones shit in Croatia, because literally these people live in castles, bro. It's weird. I mean, it's cool as but it's also kind of weird. They straight up live inside of the same castles. Half of it was built in like the year 4. Okay. Like, and sunk, but still, like some of the fortress walls that like surround the old town are like super old, and people just live in them. I'd walk around carrying a sword. Yeah, no, the vibes are like that for sure. When I was approaching the dock on my boat, I felt like an Ottoman merchant. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to sell spices to these Croatians, to the Hrvats. Like, it literally felt like it just feels like they're just living in a different era. Do they have modern appliances? Yes. Their internet is ass, but everything else is fine.
A few moments later.
Brother, I gotta go to sleep, dude. It's late here. I can't be up this late. It's already 1, and I got a flight and shit. Anyway, I will be live tomorrow though. I'll probably be live like later than usual. I won't be. I know I've been doing a 10 a.m. broadcast. If I do not die on the flight, and by that I mean just like, you know, jet lag, obviously. If I don't pull a Brandon, I will be live tomorrow. I'm very excited to see Kaya. I'm very excited to hug her. I'm very excited to see the Aussie boys. I'm just stoked to go back home, honestly. I'm stoked to go back home to my desktop. Like, this was great. This was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. I love my family, and I'm glad this is probably one of the last times I have any free time, I guess, or some semblance of free time to be able to spend with them, because the election cycle is heating up. You know, I'm a busybody for a good reason, because I have a wonderful community, and you know, I greatly enjoy what I do, right? You know, that's why I was on the 1s and 2s nonstop, even while I was in Croatia, even through the treacherous internet outages. Nevertheless, we prevailed, you know? Having said that, like I said, I'm back tomorrow in the mainland, the United States of mother America, baby, land of freedom, land of the free, home of the brave, and I'm ready to go, locked and loaded. Hopefully I'll be able to stream if I don't have like massive jet lag. It will be late though. It'll be like around 2-3 p.m. probably, and I'll see you there, and peace everybody. Love you all.